see how far I'll go. Your song comes on and your eyes close. That's when I know, yeah, you got your heart on lockdown. Got a wall I gotta knock down. Kinda wanna do shot now. Come on now. You one of them girls that ain't trying to meet nobody. You're just here for the party. If I'm wrong this time, ain't you? You one of them girls that ain't handing out your number. You like to make us want you. You like to make us wonder if you're one of them girls. 'Cause I'm one of them boys who trade his whole world. Yeah.
This first-class suite is dedicated to
Who likes to act all quiet, sexy, not even trying. Yeah, you know I ain't lying. Damn right, you're one of them girls. Broke every heart in your hometown. On the day you rolled out, got 'em all wishing on stars now. If I find one of them girls that ain't trying to meet nobody, you're just here for a party. If I'm wrong this time, you one of them girls that ain't handing out your number. You like to make us want you. You like to make us wonder if you're one of them girls. 'Cause I'm one of them boys who trade his whole world. One of them girls.
one way, $125,000. You put your credit card with you.
This one says don't run. Thank you.
Train bound for nowhere, met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to see.
This next
Took
one's
turns to
16.
stare. The darkness at the window, till boredom overtook us. He began to speak. He said, "Son, reading people's faces."
It was the evening of
knowing
April
what the
14th.
cards were, by the
The
way
night
they
was
shook
surprisingly
hands.
cold,
And if you
and the
don't
sky
mind to see,
ablaze with stars.
see right
Captain Smith
faces,
stood here on the bridge, checking in with the officer on the watch, before retiring to his stateroom for the evening.
so I had
It was almost 9:30.
down my last swallow.
Though the ship's charts warned of ice fields, the Titanic had received several messages indicating ice in the area. Captain Smith was not overly alarmed. He had brought Titanic on a southern route to minimize her
Oh, we get
contact
close
with
to the
ice.
cold room.
He had been a commander for the White Star Line for 38 years and had the utmost confidence in his state-of-the-art ship and highly experienced crew.
Oh, yep. Oh, it's a Holocaust. I'm so captivate here.
Crushed out his cigarette, faded off the sleeve. And somewhere in the darkness, the gambler he broke even. But in his final words, I found that he said, "I keep. You got to know when to hold up, know when to hold up, know
I want to say outside where the cold is. Okay. Now for the iceberg. Where he makes his napkin. The iceberg ain't there. The wall. Because the iceberg ain't in here anymore. Remember? It killed that child. It's right here. Yeah, it is. That's the iceberg they took out. That's why it's not that cold in here. That's why it's not called Penny. Okay.
Maybe playing some air, get lost in your favorite lines. But if you're anything like me, you just might be doing what
Accept it, I ain't already into the bottle. That's cool.
noise. But I just wanna hear your voice, and I'm on number away, calling to you. I said I was through, but I'm dying inside, got my head in a mess. Girl, I confess, I lied when I said I'm leaving and not coming back. Might be the whiskey or the midnight rain.
The luxury of a bed to themselves. It was the first time they had proper washing and toilet facilities. It was the first time they had experienced silver cutlery, linens, and tablecloths. The first days the Article 14 spent aboard the Titanic were among the best days of their lives. And life aboard Titanic reinforced their expectations of what their new lives in America would be like for them. When Titanic hit the iceberg, the Article 14 were in different parts of the ship. Some were in their cabins, others were at a party. The impact wasn't felt by everyone. In fact, the shudder was so slight, nobody thought the ship was in any danger. The stewards had told the Article 14 that there was nothing to worry about, that they were to stay in steerage, and above all, stay calm. They were told that they would receive further instruction as soon as possible. When the Article group got to the lifeboat decks, there were only 3 lifeboats left. In the panic, the group lost each other in the crowd. Those who actually entered the water most likely ancestors left this village over 100 years ago to seek hope and a better life in America, but never got there. At exactly 2:20 a.m., the time the Titanic finally disappeared into the sea, the relatives of the Article 14 ring the church bell for each of the 14. The people of Article are telling their story once again.
Hanging on to hope and holding on to the dream, wishing for the kind of love you see in magazines. The illusion holds and nothing's what it seems to be. The heart left is hurting deep. Heard a whisper someone saw you at the bar. Was it the same night you had trouble with your car? It's getting old, I've heard your stories told 1,000 times. Baby, you are using the same old lines. I'll leave it all behind. I wasted too much time, I've been blind. 'Cause there's no fixing what's been broken. This ain't the first time I'll be drinking. Walking down the street, the rain is falling, and my feet are walking to a different sound. I'll eat a bitter taste of alcohol, but I'm finally free. The mirror I can see a different me. I'll leave it all behind. I wasted too much time, I've been right. 'Cause there's no fixing what's been broken. This ain't the first time I'll be drinking.
Michael and Edmund Navratil were among Titanic's youngest passengers. They were just 2 and 3 years old, traveling from France to New York with their father. As the ship sank, the boy's father handed them to a stranger and a lifeboat to save them.
But it's the last time.
The boys were found. They spoke barely understandable toddler French and could not be identified. Their father had gone down with the ship, and the whereabouts of their mother was unknown. The boys were featured in newspapers worldwide as Titanic tots, orphans of the deep. Meanwhile, the boys' distraught mother was searching for them in France. She and her husband were in the middle of a divorce, and he had booked 3 tickets on the Titanic under an assumed name, Hoffman, to elude his estranged wife. While the hunt for the boy's identity continued, a wealthy New Yorker named Margaret Hayes stepped forward to care for them. Eventually, their anxious mother saw the picture in the newspaper and traveled to New York to claim their missing sons. Let's continue to the next room. Take some time to explore the interactive exhibits in this gallery. And when you're ready, find a seat in the front. Our tour will continue there.
It's a good day to be drinking.
The Goldsmith family is another story of heroic survival. Emily and Frank Goldsmith were traveling 3rd class on Titanic with their 9-year-old son. Here's their grandson, Frank Goldsmith Jr.
Dad had gone to bed late, and Grandmother and Grandfather were still sitting up talking, and suddenly noticed that the engine stopped. So Grandma urged Grandpa to go out and see if he could figure out what was going on. And during the time he was gone, there was a knock at the door, and it was one of the ship's doctors who said, there seems to have been some sort of accident, so we're asking everybody to put on their life vests and go to the 2nd class salon and wait for further instructions. At 1:20, perhaps, when the crew indicated that they should follow him up the stairway. And they went up to the B deck, one deck below the boat deck, which is where they were told that only women and children could go beyond that. And that's where they had the party with my grandfather. I always kind of knew about Titanic as I was growing up, but we didn't talk about it at all. I never knew until I was a grown man why my dad never took me to ball games, baseball, football, hockey, anything like that. Because when he was a little boy in Detroit, he lived about 2 blocks from David Field where the Detroit Tigers played. And every time someone hit a home run, the sound of the crowd to him was the sound of the Titanic singing.
As you sit in the lifeboat, look across this gallery towards the door where you entered. This painting recreates the last moments of Titanic before she disappeared into the depths of the ocean. Actual Titanic survivor, Ava Hart.
I didn't close my eyes. Watched every moment and I saw the ship go over horrid sounds, people drowning. That's the worst sound you can imagine.
Throughout the early morning of April 15th, Titanic's frightened passengers huddled together in lifeboats waiting for rescue. The rescue ship Carpathia had picked up Titanic's SOS signal and responded, but they were 58 miles away. Because of the ice field, it took them nearly 4 hours to reach Titanic's lifeboats. Once they arrived, it took another 4 hours to pick up all of the survivors. Actual Titanic survivor, Edith Casement.
It's a long way down. It was a big ship. And in the water, you could see the Titanic. There was a beautiful lot of lights all lit up, even under the water. And we had to be about a half a mile away. And you could see her going down slowly as the lights disappeared. She took 2.5 hours to go down until she got to the boilers. As she got down to the boilers, there was a terrible explosion. And the screams of the people was terrible, and she was right down. After she disappeared, everything seemed to be dead quiet. Ever so quiet. A lot of them men, some of them jumped over, and it was freezing cold, you know. Oh, it was terrible. And some of these poor sailors had just a little sort of sickness on, and nothing else, they were frozen.
Press the buttons at each seat to hear more Titanic.
Feeling the burn from my 9 to 5. End of the week, but I'm still alive. It's gone too slow, that ticking the talk. Can't take these eyes off of